What sets these apart from any other adventure games is the introduction of magnetic windows, Virgin's stunning new control system. On screen, you can pull up a number of menus and options that give you instant access to the commands you'll be using in the game. You can also pull up a series of accessory windows, including a map that draws itself, a still graphics screen, a compass which you can click on to move from location to location, and a visual inventory. There are sub-menus too, that contain numerous verbs and commands, such as examine or open, that you use often. You can even change your font. Fish is my personal favourite. It's got a wicked sense of humour. Fish, Corruption and Guild of Thieves were always great adventures, but with magnetic windows they are now brilliant adventures.
The Lotus has a reputation for being a status symbol, as well as being one of the fastest cars on the road today. In Lotus 2, you get a chance to race one of these beauties. As you charge along at speeds of up to 150 miles an hour, the computer throws everything at you to slow you down or stop you, losing valuable time. On level 1, we have logs, rivers and rocks, all carefully placed to stop you beating that clock. From level 2, things really start to get difficult. Night driving courses take your reflexes to the limit, as cars and bends in the road leap out of nowhere. And watch out for the tunnel walls. You can choose to play against a friend, or up to 3 friends if you link your machines. And the password system means you can continue your game on any level you like. No matter what the weather, Lotus 2 holds the road perfectly. At last, a really good race game.
Don't forget, you can buy any game reviewed in this issue of Click for £5 off the retail price, simply by completing the enclosed voucher and mailing it to us. No fuss, no muss, no poster packing. Just £5 off the retail price and the game at your door within 14 days. Sorry, only 1 game per person this time. And get your voucher in before Click number 2 hits the stands. That's December 27th.
Another late night at the Headbanging Ball, Tony?
No, I had an early night. I didn't get to the gig. Leo Sayer had long sold out by the time I got there.
So?
Oh, just this cover disc. It's like watching paint dry.
What's this about a party?
Once upon a time, magazines had something called a cover story. Now, it's called a cover mount story. We thought it might be worth taking an objective look. Bonnie! We thought it might be worth taking an objective look at this whole area. So I got the job of buying a load of last month's computer mags.
There you go, let's see.
Thanks, Sav. And there were so many freebies, I had to get... Oh! So I got the job of buying a load of last month's computer mags. Thanks, Sav. And there were so many freebies on them that I had to get Sav to keep... Can we do this next month, please?
Isn't it about time I review my games now?
Well, what have you been working on this month?
Captain Planet and Robocod.
Fine, get on with it.
Captain Planet and Robocod it is then. There's a cartoon on Saturday mornings called Captain Planet. It's one of those Japanese things with superheroes joining forces to save the Earth. Gripping stuff. Episode 7. Superman recycles a newspaper. That sort of thing. This is Mindscape's conversion of that series, and I found it boring. There are 5 levels to the game, 1 for each character. This is Fire's level. His mission is to free some seals who are trapped in clouds above the ozone layer and won't walk across until it has been repaired. I may not know much, but I know that seals do not look like this. Polar bears maybe, Or is this some kind of mutant? Captain Planet doesn't fit into any category. There isn't enough action to say this is a great action game. There isn't enough strategy to call this an adventure. And it doesn't make it as an arcade game either. I found the controls too slow and the sprite collision system dopey. The game is basically unplayable. It could have been good, but it isn't. Santa Claus has been kidnapped and hidden at the top of a great tower. Your task as Robocod, the bionic aquatic hero, is to find him and set him free. The tower is split into dozens of huge rooms, and all with weird and wonderful backdrops and enemies. You get some great bonuses on later levels, like this plane with a scarf to keep out the cold. Watch out though, the skies can be crowded. Jumping and stretching around the levels, Robo's only protection is his heavily armoured fins, and his only means of attack is his weight problem. Like all good arcade games, there are little elements of strategy. Like here, how's this for using your head? The design of the game is terrific. There are intricate mazes, hidden rooms, well-placed enemies, the lots. Robocod is really exciting. It has great sound and pictures and brilliant joystick control that makes it a lot of fun to play. We're pretty sure it will become a classic, even with the teddy bear.
Amos is a name that is probably familiar to most of you. It surprised the world when it was one of the best-selling products of last year. Why? Well, who would have thought a programming language could be such a biggie? For that's all Amos is. A hybrid of BASIC designed specifically to harness the Amiga's processing power for games development. And it has sold so well because, as you can see, Amos is very fast. And everything we're showing you here has been written in uncompiled BASIC. This car racing demo, for example, has been written using a new Amos extension, simply called Amos 3D. There are other extension discs available. You can get them through PD.